Justin Timberlake's the only reason that Treasure Troll's relevant. And we are live for the Bluff and Buffalo Bar and Chill. My name is Poker Rhino. I'll be your host. Today on the menu, KB.
Hello.
KB, tell us how you got into poker. The most cliche question we're going to ask you of all time.
Yes, I actually hated gambling for what it's worth. I was
Really
adamant against going to casinos. I was like, why would I waste money on this? And one day a friend told me they won 200 grand playing poker one summer. And I was like, hold on a second, let me rethink this.
You saw the writing on the wall.
I did. And, I'm relatively good at math. And they were like, I think you'd be pretty good at it. You should try it out.
Sure.
So I did. And here I am.
Here you are.
Yeah.
Well, I can definitely tell you, with the times that we have faced heads up, you have always been a colorful character, at least someone that just plays to the pattern of players like me, who, I don't know if any of y'all, yes, everybody, that's Krillin. These are things that happen. It's real life. You know what else is real life? Playing against players like me, where we're obnoxious. We say what we can to get reactions from the table. And players like you, who are my antithesis, who just are like, okay.
Yeah, that's right.
How do you do that? Like, I have to ask you, how do you...
I mean, even this week, people were trying to get me all razzed up, and I just shut it off. Just ignore, turn a blind eye.
Now, the fun thing about this stream that no one here has noticed, and only one person will understand, is the fact that I've had this entity here the whole time.
Is it a buffalo or a bison?
It is a buffalo.
Is it?
According to the wing
thing.
We played a game one time. It was the tag team tournament, I believe, where I had the buffalo and it sat in the little drink cup. And every time I may or may not have had the buffalo gyrate on the cards, I would win a hand. And it was to the point that I would have random, in fact, I think 70-year-old women go, oh, let me try it. And I would put the buffalo on the card and they would win the hand. It was a random happenstance occurrence.
Yep, this really happened.
I
think there was some colorful commentary from one of the older ladies too.
Well, that being said, speaking of colorful commentary, you have a colorful career outside of poker. And the main question I have to ask you is, how do you balance like such a serious, respectful career with something as scandalous, disgusting, and translucent as poker?
Yeah, I think because I am in business, there are a lot of people who have a lot of respect for the game of poker.
Sure.
There's a lot of similarities and overlap, and so I think that helps. It is definitely a conversation starter as well with work. So I think, having open conversations with people on both sides of the fence, it makes it a little bit easier. And yeah, learning how to say no is also super important too, because finding a balance between the two can be really hard, especially when playing poker is so much fun, and I would love to be able to stay up until 2, 3 a.m. playing every night, but it's just not a reality for me. So,
well, we've all been there for the Lodge Tuesday night free roll.
Yes, we have.
There's nothing worse than playing the free roll, making it to the final table, and bubbling, and being like, okay, I've been here for 8 hours. I'm going to go home now.
Yeah.
But that being said, treasure trolls.
Yes.
How and why?
All right, first off, Brittany would disagree with your first statement. Just saying, okay? Yeah, no, it's actually a really sweet story. My dad
Sure.
my dad gave me a troll whenever I first started playing poker.
Hmm.
This lucky lottery troll. It was a little too big for the table, so I looked online for a little mini one. And the world's smallest toys actually sent me the little troll, and I used that as my card protector at the table, and so that's kind of how it came to fruition.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah,
And literally, no offense meant by it,
yeah,
but literally today, 90% of the people, when I was like, oh yeah, we have so and so KB, and they're like, what? And I'm like, treasure troll. They go, oh!
yeah.
So how does that feel, like, sincerely, to be associated with something like, especially hearing the connection that you had with your dad,
Yeah.
which is awesome
Yeah.
to have that associated with you now.
Yeah, I mean, I have grown up on the internet. The terminology troll is something that I'm very familiar with, and so I thought it was almost amusing to play with the troll at the table. Plus, I read online they're actually a good look.
No, it's
Yeah, yeah.
awesome.
So there's a lot of different pieces to this, but yeah, no,
And the one
I
thing
love it.
the one thing I'll always remember
Yeah.
was when it was WSOP 2023, and you and your tag partner were in the tournament, and I remember being like, "Oh, where are you at? I'm gonna go meet up with you." And I ran into y'all, and you had the troll right there,
Yeah.
which to me I think is awesome. Like, and as someone who associates, like, I go by Poker Rhino. Rhino is something my mom called me, and it's so cool to have like Slick Rick at a poker table saying, "Oh yeah, Poker Rhino," or this or this, and having that association. So I can only imagine how you're feeling with that.
Yeah, no, it definitely it keeps me close to my dad. My dad actually lives in the Philippines for what it's worth, so I don't get to see him very often.
Yeah, but you get to go
So
visit him in the Philippines, which is
that's
probably cool.
that's true. Yeah.
Well, Chris, what are you got? What are your plans for 2024?
Yeah, so this is going to be a big year for me.
Talk to me.
I am planning on taking a big portion of the summer and actually spending it in Vegas, probably somewhere close to 3 months. So I'll be there for the full series, a number of different tournaments. Vegas will have to hear me after a while. So
No, this is going to be a crazy year because I've already talked to 2 or 3 people. We've already talked about getting an Airbnb. Like, this is the year where, like, and what the way it was interesting because I talked to a friend about a month ago, and he's established. He plays in Vegas quite a bit, and he goes, "I don't know, man. This is the year of the up and comer. Like, I don't think anybody that has ever won before will win this year. I think 90% of the WSOP winners will be brand new." And that to me is exciting because I've already claimed, and I will claim this again on this episode, that I will be the 2024 Badugi bracelet champion.
of all the games, Badugi
Badugi is the greatest game of poker in the history of poker. Have you played Badugi? Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Fair, fair.
It is PLO done right. Ace 2, 3, 4, all different suits, the nuts. And you get to trade in cards. It's like your childhood card game brought to life. You're like, please, I don't care.
Debatable. It sounds a little slow to me, kind of.
Sure, but what heads up isn't?
Yeah.
So if we're looking at, let's say, August of 2024, most of the bracelets, if not all of them, are already handed out. What is KB one? What is at KB scores going to be associated with?
The main event, of course.
No, I'm winning that.
No,
But if not that one,
Definitely the main event.
okay, then I will issue the challenge right now because I am officially, and I have not mentioned this at all till right now. I am officially entering the main event this year.
Okay. Good luck.
Thank you. I'm going to need it. I'm scared. I cry at night. But KB, what do you say to putting on a challenge to see who can go further, you or me.
To last longer in the main event.
Correct. There's no money on the line.
Okay.
It's all about the most ridiculous challenge you can think of. And I will let you issue it right here live on the stream. It can be anything from 1,000 push-ups to saying something ridiculous to having to dress up at the lodge at the next tournament as insert here.
Your favorite Pokemon.
Okay.
All right.
Thank God I love Bulbasaur. So we're hearing it right here first, guys. If I can last longer than KB, excuse me, who am I kidding? I can't be modest. When I last longer than KB, she will dress up as
Charmander.
Char Char. Well, we've built up the anticipation of the WSOP. We've issued a challenge. We've made season 1 fun because now we have something to look forward to. But how do you feel about eating food?
I love food.
Because, and I've heard it through the grapevines, that KB loves tendies.
I do love tendies.
Hashtag KB loves tendies. But I've also heard that you're okay with Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
When we get back, we're going to show KB what real fun is all about.
This is the part where we play commercials, but we don't have any, so we're back.
KB, we're back. And I have made for you what I can only consider to be the wildest, craziest, treasure troll-esque wings I can think of. I've made for you today the Mountain Dew chicken tendies.
Yum.
Let's see what you think.
And the ranch
Yes.
sauce? Okay, all right.
Sure.
You didn't tell me about the ranch?
Well, I was going to let you try the wings first, but
All right.
that's fair.
Okay.
We don't know what okay means.
I mean,
But what we're going to say is this.
Let me try. I'm doing the second bite, so it's not
I'm
bad.
just kidding. No, but I wanted something that brought out the hidden fun that you find when you play against you. Because 90% of the time you're just focused on the cards and what you're doing. But then you get a player like me who's like, no. You're gonna bring it out. And you'll throw out that nugget of joy. Which is why I wanted to get something secretly fun for you.
Okay. I mean, to be honest, when you said Mountain Dew Nugget or Mountain Dew Tendies, I was like, what? I mean, can you really do those two go together, really?
I don't know, but we made it happen. We did a base of Mountain Dew. We did red pepper flakes. We did some different mixtures with it. And then we brought it all to a boil, put some cornstarch in there, bada boom.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. We will take it. Well, KB, tell us where we can find you outside of obviously Vegas. What are your goals besides the main event for 2024?
I'll probably be playing lots of video games, honestly.
What
You don't
games?
see me at the poker table. I'll be playing probably a little bit of Dyson Sphere.
Okay.
I'm building my intergalactic space chain. And a little bit of League of Legends, probably.
Okay, we got an LOLer.
Yeah, League of Legends, some Valorant maybe, some Counter-Strike.
Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's effing go.
Yes, too.
Cameraman Brian loves
You
the...
play Counter-Strike? Awesome.
We have fun when we can get the camera guys into it. Well, KB, you have been wonderful. You have been awesome. Thank you for joining us. Where can they find you?
So you can find me on Twitter at KB Scores, Instagram KB Scores, and YouTube KB Scores. Lots of consistency there.
Speaking of consistency, it would be remiss of me if I didn't. Please put your fork down.
Okay.
Please take this time to just relax, let your shoulders down. And in this moment, share with me, share with the viewers. Get it off your chest. We've all got it. We all know it. Your bad beat story.
Oh man, there's so many.
And it's time for today's bad beat story.
Well, since we have the main event bet, I will tell my main event bad beat story. Third hand in, I get pocket queens.
Woof.
Yeah, sounds like a great hand, right?
You're already ahead as far as I know.
I'm winning, and it goes min raise, call, and so of course in the squeeze, and all of them came along. So I am now in the hand with pocket queens with 5 other people, but the flop comes queen 5-5.
Ooh.
And so I'm thinking I'm about to make some serious chips here.
And Mr. Hijack with the pocket fives.
Oh my gosh, you're not wrong.
I immediately knew.
There's a guy on the table, and he just starts shaking, and I bet pretty large because I'm like, oh no. And he calls my large bet, and then the turn comes. I bet a little smaller. He calls again, and so on the river I check it, and he just rips it. And I'm like, I'm dead. Like, I know I'm dead. He's shaking. I'm dead. And so I tanked for a really long time. And then eventually I just folded it, and I lost 3/4 of my stack on that hand, the third hand
Oh,
of the main event. And it was my first time playing the main event. So it was like doubly like soul crushing for me.
which, if you viewers don't know this, and I'm assuming if you're watching this show, you know, but the main event, an entry to it, if you don't get a satellite or anything, is $10K. So those big beats, which if you folded,
I did.
good on you, because for $10K buy-in, I can't say I wouldn't have done it, but I can't say I would have done it.
Had he not been shaking, I would have probably played it out, but he was shaking pretty bad, and someone who is coming along for that large of a bet in the main event,
Sure.
they've got a monster at that point.
And at that point, it's not an unrealistic call to think
not.
pocket fives.
Yeah.
Not when everybody's calling and you're just like, all right, well, let's see. Because I think, and this is sincere here, I think every time, and actually, cameraman Lucas and I were just talking with Mallory in the previous episode about when I got quad tens, and he was at the table when it happened. Literally, I got pocket tens, and the first thing that popped in my head was, well, let's see what happens. And you never think to yourself,
Yep.
I'm about to get quads. You're just like, maybe this pair will level itself out. So, the one thing that poker fans can take from this episode and learn of you, folding is maturity. I can't say with pocket queens with a boat there, the telltale's there.
Yep.
But I can't say that I wouldn't have played it.
It felt really bad, but I'm really fortunate. He showed it, so so I had confirmation that I made the right fold, but it still didn't feel good.
KB, I'm glad that you let the fans know what your Instagram was and your Twitter was, because when you dress as Charmander, and it's going to happen because I'm allergic to losing and I don't get sick.
All right, that's a bold statement.
Guys, thank y'all. Have a good night. And remember, Charmander is going to look very fun in August.